award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. Hey, we're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Got an exciting show for you today. We just walked down the hall and grabbed a few folks, didn't we, Don?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Family. It's all family today.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun show. Got Don King here co-hosting. Austin Bornheim and Lee Wilmot are also in studio, and we're going to talk about the calendar, the blog, the newsroom, things happening on our website, things happening in the office, things happening outdoors. So it's going to be a fun show.
All right. Looking forward to it.
These guys do a lot of hard work for us and make sure the information gets out and helps us get our magazine, our calendars and stuff going, and we're going to learn about that today. But first, I want to highlight a few things. The hat's still for sale.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all haven't seen that,
I've got mine, and it is warm during the cold weather.
Lee covered up my pig. My Tennessee pig down here, he covered it up. He's got something going on there. Anyway, Tennessee hat for sale online at GoOutdoorsTennessee.com. It's $20, I believe.
Yeah. $20 donation to our foundation.
Yeah, all the money goes to the foundation, and then that helps us put on programs and special events and educate the public about what there is out there in the outdoors to get into.
Yep.
So it's a cool hat. I think everybody here has one. Keeps our head warm. There you go, Lee. Cool thing you can get online. Those are still for sale. We had them for sale during Christmas, and they're still out there, and they'll continue to be out there.
Yeah.
Coming soon is a storefront. Hopefully that'll be in place soon, where you don't have to log in to get the hat, but it'll be kind of a fill your cart and then check out kind of
right
thing.
It all goes through our licensing system, GoOutdoorsTennessee.com right now, but normally we're just selling licenses, so they need all that info. But if you're just buying a hat or maybe subscribing to the magazine in the future, you wouldn't have to go through all that.
Right.
So we're looking forward to that storefront.
Yep. So another thing I want to highlight, squirrel season's underway through February 28th.
February 28th.
Y'all been out yet?
I have not.
Not yet. My son was asking yesterday. He said, "Is it deer season?" I said, "No, it's closed." He said, "Is it turkey season?" I said, "No, not yet." He said, "What about squirrel season?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Let's go do that." So I think we're going to go squirrel hunting here pretty soon. Turkey season is coming up on April 4th, and that runs for a month or so. The young sportsman is March 28th to the 29th, so that's going to be a fun time for those guys.
Yeah, that will be good.
And
I think there's a youth. Well, were we going to mention that too? The youth squirrel hunt at Buffalo Ridge.
Thanks for backing me up there. February 15th. Is that right, Lee?
Yes.
The Buffalo Ridge squirrel hunt.
And that's a great. I mean, the Buffalo Ridge place. We've talked about it in the past, but the area down there that we've purchased and have developed for outreach. I mean, that's kind of its main mission down there, and youth hunts like this are just a golden opportunity for kids and other family members to get involved with that.
Right, yeah. They have dogs, and they run squirrels like it's fun. I've never done that before, but got to go down there last year with my son, and it's fun. It's a fun event. So winter trout's still underway through March the 20th. Folks can take advantage of some of that. Go to our website, tnwildlife.org, and check out the schedule there. A lot of stockings through March 20th in Middle Tennessee. I think the stockings in West Tennessee kind of slow down at the end of January.
It is amazing. You go on the website and look at all those opportunities where they're stocking fish. It's just crazy how many places they stop and stock the fish.
And there's a lot more stocking locations in the western part and middle part of the state. You already got a lot of trout up there in East Tennessee, but there are a few stockings there. You're not being left out totally. So it's a good opportunity to catch some trout in the wintertime and keep those trout, take them home, eat them. 7 is your limit, I believe.
Right.
And you got to have a trout license.
Yes.
All right. You back me up on these, Don. Don't let me get it wrong.
No, I'll check it.
So anyway, one other thing I want to plug before we get into the main topics for today is WCTV. We are on WCTV. If you're watching right now, thanks for watching. We went and did an interview over at their studio the other day.
That's right.
And that was a fun visit.
That was good. Yeah, we got to see their studio and be a part of the show there and walking
through Wilson.
Through Wilson.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say in Wilson, but it's through Wilson. Walking through Wilson.
Yeah, it was a fun show. And that's Wilson County Television in Wilson County, Tennessee. So if you're in that area, tune us in there.
Yeah. They do great stuff there.
All right, well, let's meet these guys. We'll start with Lee. Lee's been with the agency a little bit longer than Austin. He's been with the state for a long time. You've worked in a lot of different roles in the state. And just tell us about yourself, Lee. Where did you grow up, and what brought you to Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency?
Well, I was a TVA family. I grew up 12 years in North Alabama. My mother was from Grand Junction, Tennessee originally. Met my dad during World War II in Memphis when he was stationed at Millington, and after the war he got on with TVA, and they moved around quite a bit before I came along later in their lives.
Yeah.
So I graduated from high school on the edge of North Carolina in Murphy. My dad worked Ocoys and Hiawassee and all the dams under the Hiawassee umbrella there. And he retired. I was already gone in college. And in fact, it was at working at UT Martin when he retired. His last job was at Great Falls, which is adjacent to Rock Island State Park in Warren County.
Yeah.
So that was it. So I'm been all around. I went to school at Tennessee Tech after high school.
Golden Eagle, right?
Golden Eagle. First job was in Carthage for a newspaper there, and then I'd worked as a student assistant at Tech and Sports Information. Was fortunate enough to get on at UT Martin after a couple of years there, and was there for almost 20 years. And I thought my dad got sick, and I just thought I needed to change, and I was fortunate and been with the agency in my 13th year now.
Awesome. Well, you got a lot of knowledge. You've been around a while, and your sports knowledge is what fascinates me. I mean, you can rattle off stats and statistics, and being in that sports world is
amazing.
Pretty cool. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he really is. Well, tell us what you do for the agency. Let people know what your main role is.
Well, I do. I sort of look at it as a utility player. I do like a lot.
The sports term, right there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, that's all I can do, Jason. I do like all the statewide agency news releases that come from the Nashville office. Work, good deal with the magazine. Update our newsroom, which is compiled of news releases. I do a lot of in-house photography, like when people come on board and that type thing, and presentations, and so that was a new element for me. And so it's just a wide range of stuff, diversity. I like to get out when I can to go to different events, and of course all the commission meetings, and it's just a wide range of things which I enjoy.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Lee mentioned the newsroom and the news that he puts out. That can be found on our website, tnwildlife.org, on the homepage there, and we'll navigate some of that today and show you around.
One thing he did leave out, though, is the award-winning Shop Talk.
I'm sorry. The employees the monthly newsletter. How could I forget that? But the employees newsletter that goes to our 700 employees and retirees. It's more of a in-house. It's an in-house publication, and it's loosely, it's more human interest of different things, and people getting awards because we have so much diversity in our agency, and it's a way to highlight what people within the agency are doing.
Yeah, it's neat because we have 4 different regional offices, and a lot of times, the folks from Region 4 don't get to Region 1 all that often, and vice versa, and so it's nice to be able to keep in touch with folks when they see it that way. And I know our commissioners read that thing cover to cover too.
Yep.
And you see names of people that you see the names, and it's also nice when you, like, say when we had the officers ceremony, I was able to meet officers from Far East Tennessee that you never get a chance to meet, or West Tennessee. You've seen their names, and that's always nice to actually get to meet those people and talk to them in person when you have the opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah. It's hard to meet everybody a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's 700 plus employees, and they're scattered all across the state, and so it's hard to meet everybody. But yeah, Lee does a great job. I pulled up the newsroom. If y'all are watching at home, y'all can see some of the latest releases that he's put out. Like we talked about earlier, the Buffalo Ridge Squirrel Hunt's coming up. some more some habitat improvement options there with CRP and light goose season. So you can see for yourself. But there's a lot of news that he puts out every week. There's something going out, and
the application is in the release on that Buffalo Ridge, so if they'll open up the full story there.
You're going to demo that?
Yeah,
Jason?
we'll show people how to do that.
They can just go to it down at registration forms there.
Yeah, so it pulls up what you need to get that submitted for Mr. Hossey. Donald Hossey organizes that hunt, and he can get you in.
Print that out, fill it out, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you got breakfast and a safety talk, and then you got the hunt and lunch. So it's pretty good day. 30 participants though, so make sure you get your information in quick.
Early. Yep.
Well, let's go back to the homepage here on the website. I wanted to highlight something else that Lee's been doing quite a bit in is getting our blog going. The blog is something new we're trying to do, and it's set up similar to the newsroom, but these are articles that we want y'all to read and find more information in. That can be found on our homepage, but a lot of these, and some of these are new, and a lot of these maybe come from other magazines that we put out that are pretty much evergreen stuff that continually can be used and applies today. Yeah.
That's right, and we're going to try. I'm going to try to note to mention like what. Say if I go back 15 years and see an article that is not time constrained, I'll put this as like from say the 2005 winter issue of Tennessee Wildlife. So try to get some of the where it's still in effect today. Maybe not about a particular hunting season, but say if something about etiquette of duck hunting, which I can see over there that is going to be basically the same. So that's going to be the purpose of that, or cooking wild game down there behind Don.
Yeah.
So that'll be something that I'll try to keep relevant, and as I go back through all these magazines and try to read through them and say, hey, if something like changes on regulations and it's in there, that's my mistake.
Right. That's all right. That's all right. Those things can be overlooked sometimes. So
I see that one about aging deer too. That's another kind of evergreen deal, that doesn't change.
That doesn't
over
change.
time.
And those recipes, I guess they can change, but that's if you put your own twist on them, right?
Well, that's right.
Maybe gluten-free or something.
There you go.
Don't use peanut oil.
Is that veggie burger? No, that's not veggie burger. So, okay, awesome, Lee. Anything else you want to highlight before we move over to Austin?
No, he's a highlight.
He's
so
a highlight. All right, yeah. Let's cut over here and talk to Austin a little bit. Austin came to us. He's been working for us 2 years now?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2. Okay. Yeah. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so like we said, almost 2 years here. I came from newspapers. I was the sports editor at the Maryville Daily Times up there in East Tennessee, outside Knoxville, covering sports, a lot of high school sports. So familiar with that area, a lot of Maryville, a lot of Alcoa, Heritage, William Blount, those schools up there were what we covered a lot. Also covered Tennessee football, traveled with the Vols for 3 years there. Also went to school at Tennessee, so covered Tennessee for almost a total of a decade between the two of those. Between school and being back in Maryville, though, I worked at a newspaper in Michigan for almost 3 years, covering high school sports, a little bit of Notre Dame, because we were just north of South Bend across the border from Indiana up into Michigan, living there on Lake Michigan. So that's how I came here. So I handled the magazine from a kind of a newspaper background through. So Lee and I kind of tag team doing the editing and all that kind of stuff for everything you see in the magazine.
Awesome. Yeah, and then a little sports talk in between, right?
Oh, yeah, plenty of that.
Awesome.
Speaking of high school sports, before we leave that subject,
sure.
I know Austin was made the varsity baseball team as a freshman, right, in high school?
Oh, eighth grader. Get it right.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. Oh. We also had 63 people in my graduating class and maybe 250 in the entire high school. So I gotta couch it a little bit. It's not like I was going to a big school with 1,000 kids there.
Man,
so
5 years of eligibility there.
There you go. Yeah, it's easy to rack up stats when you get 5 years.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that stat. Yeah. I knew you played baseball, but I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
Hitting varsity at 8th grade. That's awesome. So let's talk about the magazine and the calendar issue, which is the the ability to send your photos in is happening right now. So let's talk about the magazine. Tell us what kind of articles are coming out, and how folks can subscribe to that.
Yeah, so right now the next issue coming out will be the spring issue, which what we are working on right now. The calendar will be the summer issue. So for the spring right now, which is what I'm currently working on, we got stuff on bears coming out. Obviously, that's been something people have been talking about, especially as bears start to move a little bit more west from the mountains coming down. People are interested about that. We got that stuff on President's Island, one of the biggest places to go deer hunt in the state, highlighting that. More or less going to be more of a photo essay this year and just show you kind of about President's Island and kind of show you instead of telling you about it. And this one trying something a little bit different. And some other things, we're going to Alabama bass, kind of the problem that's coming with those in our waterways. Yeah,
we put an article out on Facebook this past week about that one.
So, yeah, we've spoken to a lot of people. I think we got a really good story about that, just kind of highlight it's more of a nuanced story where we need a lot of space because it's tough to kind of cover that in maybe 500 to 600 words. So this one's a little bit longer to try and give you a more encompassing look at it. So I think that'll be really good. And a few others that'll go in there. And then Lee and I work on that because he's got the insider in the back too, which is a little bit like Shop Talk, but a little bit more tailored towards the public than maybe than Shop Talk is, but kind of the same general idea.
Awesome. How would somebody subscribe if they wanted to pick up the magazine?
If you go to our website, there's a drop down at the top of the page and Stay Connected, I believe. There it says Tennessee Wildlife Magazine, and then I think at the very top of that page there is a big red button that says subscribe online today.
There it is. I pulled it up. If people are watching, they can see that. So right there you can subscribe. That'll take you to GoOutdoorsTennessee.com, though, I believe.
Yeah, it will.
So if you want to go straight there, you can go
to GoOutdoorsTennessee.
So.
And then, we got stuff further down that page where, if we're going back to the calendar, where people can submit photos. We're still open, how we always have been, where you can send in physical copies. If you mail in CDs with your photos and information, we can get it that way. Or we're trying it out this year where you can submit photos online, which has worked out pretty good so far. I would say, having not done a hard count, but we're probably over 600 photos already submitted.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And I believe Lee put that press release out right after Christmas.
Right around Christmas,
yes. Right around Christmas, so less than a month, and we're pushing 600 photos or so. So people have really taken to that, and we've got some great photos so far.
And I got to tell you, over the years, the photos, the quality of the photos just gets better, keeps getting better every year. So, so that's great. I think it has a lot to do with the digital age too we're in now, where folks can get out there and use that new equipment and share some stuff with us.
It's been great. It's a little bit more accessible for everybody. You don't have to have that kind of hardcore professional equipment to get those shots anymore. And so we've seen some great photos so far. The stuff that I've looked through.
That's what I was going to ask. We like a certain quality. We want it to be a good quality, but could a cell phone shot even work for some of these calendar shots? Or do you think they should use a little bit better equipment?
I would use a little bit better equipment for maybe the calendar. There's some stuff where if you send us some photos, I mean, to be fair, every year there are 12 months in the year, and we have a cover. So only 13 photos of all the photos we get sent in get into the calendar. So it's tough to crack that to begin with. But there are tons of great photos that get sent in that we don't use every year. That we'll use maybe for something else. Maybe it didn't make it to the calendar, but you took a great photo of an animal that we are writing a story on later in the year in the magazine that we might use it for that. So keep sending them in, and I guess I would just say don't be discouraged if you don't get in. It's tough to crack it, but there are a lot of great photos that might just not fit the calendar, or you had a great photo that was a vertical photo, but the calendar is a landscape shot, so it's just tough to make it fit. So, just keep sending them in. Even if it's maybe not going to make it to the calendar, we can use it for something else.
And I think we could definitely use it on our website and social media posts as well. So, don't be discouraged. Send in your photos. We'd love to have them. Can always use more and new stuff. A lot of folks are out there see things we don't get to see sometimes.
Yeah.
And one thing, fishing photos, seems like every year we don't get a lot of good fishing photos. That's a big part of our state, and we're always looking for that. And like Austin said, if we don't have it for the calendar, there's a lot of other publications, the guides that are produced each year, and then the website. If I have a newsroom photo, like with the Buffalo Ridge article, say that we put up yesterday, I have a squirrel picture, so I went through the files and found a squirrel to put in. So we're always going back, and we built our library up digitally, like what Austin's doing, That's always good. So they'll be used if they're good. I mean, they're good.
I'm glad you brought up the fishing thing. If you've got underwater equipment where you can get some great shots of fish underwater, we would love to have one of those for the calendar. I think that would be awesome. You might have a shoe in there if you have a good underwater shot. You may be guaranteed a slot on the calendar. We don't get many fish or fishing shots, so that's good. Good info there, Lee.
Yeah, but they can keep sending them in. I think that the calendar submissions is open towards the end of March, so you got plenty of time to still send them in. People have taken advantage of it, but just because we said we've seen a lot of photos already doesn't mean you don't have a great shot. So you got plenty of time to submit photos, and if you get an itch to go out and take some photos, you still got some time to do that too.
So and we'll vote on them. These guys in the room here will help vote, and then some other folks will vote.
Yeah, we pull in a little committee, and everybody looks at the photos and votes, and nobody knows who took the photos either.
Nope.
We just go on the quality of the shot and how it hits us when we see it, and then we rate them that way and rank them, and then sometimes we're surprised. Sometimes, one photographer might get multiple entries into the calendar. I mean, it's not favoritism. It's just that, hey, given all we had to look at, that those were the best ones.
That happened last year, and we went through with the whole committee looking at the photos, and I didn't even realize it till I got back to my office and started to pull them into a file that I realized that they were the same people, because as we trimmed them down after the first round of people sending in photos, none of the photos have any of the people's information on it, so you don't see a name for what photo is with who photographer, like you said, and that goes through multiple rounds of trimming down. From if we have 600 to get down to 13, it takes a while to get down to there. Right. So when it gets to kind of that end there, it's kind of, sometimes it happens, but yeah.
That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. Something else I want to bring up about this page on our website, the preparing your manuscript. We're also wanting folks to send in some examples of their work, maybe, and see if they qualify to be an article writer for us. But also, I was wondering, and I may put you on the spot here, but maybe if they have a good article that they think might be good for our blog, they could submit that, and we could review it, and might be something we could put on our blog site.
I mean, I think that is the hope as we move forward with the blog, because eventually, as many magazines as we have, we will eventually run out of those evergreen articles that Lee was talking about. So I think we set up this manuscript thing for people to send in some of their samples if they've written before us, to see kind of their writing style, how they would fit with us. And I think it would start kind of maybe writing for our blog on some of those stories, and then becoming maybe someone that is a regular contributor to the magazine as well, where you kind of do both of those, help us out, get your name published, and if you're someone that's willing to write for us, you are probably interested in the outdoors, so it helps you get out there and talk to some interesting people within our agency and learn a little bit more about what we do too, learn a little bit more about the outdoors. So we're hopeful that people start using that. We've gotten a couple actually, which has been kind of exciting. So we're going to start trying to find some people maybe to help us out with the blog, and that's kind of the perfect way to get in with that. Like
you guys said, there are just a lot of opportunities out there, between the blog and the magazine and other things online. And speaking of that, is it too early to talk about the magazine expanding, so to speak?
A little early, because
never mind then.
Something maybe have me back in the spring when we have it completely sorted out.
All right.
Tune in later.
Right.
We have some ideas, but they are not completely ironed out yet.
And I think they're really good ideas.
Thank
too.
you. Yes, me too.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Job security, right? No.
Yeah. Anything to give me more job security is perfect. Yeah.
One thing that I think we should hit on is the price. Maybe let folks know what the magazine cost is. Do you know what that is there off the top of your head?
Well, it's $10 for an issue, $17 for 2-year subscription, and $25 for 3 years.
All right, there you go. So it's a great
deal.
Great deal,
It really is, yeah.
A great deal. It's a great gift idea. I know Christmas has already passed, but you could get a subscription for your family members or whatnot. But so it's a.
And a lot of our subscribers are sportsman license holders too, because of course they get it. And if you're a lifetime license holder, you get
with your license, you automatically get one, so it gets shipped to your door every quarter.
So that's a good point. Yeah, get your sportsman's license, and you get that benefit as well.
Right, that's a good benefit of it. And but like Lee said, $10 a year. Gosh, what that's a great value.
Right. One thing I think we maybe didn't mention, but maybe we did. Lee, other than the newsroom, where do your articles go? Where do you send your articles and your news releases to?
I have a statewide media list that goes all throughout the state. I believe there's 350 on it, and if you're not on it, get in contact with us. I think we pretty much try to get everybody. I know social media and the electronic newsroom and all that's important, but also a lot of our customers are in rural areas where community newspapers are still a very part of the community and the area. So let's try to send all those. I'm constantly updating it, and we have a delivery service now that through where I've been adding on that. That's something different and that we've done within the last year. So we send all out to television, radio, and newspapers all across the state.
Yeah, so we're trying to get it out there to you. There's a lot of outlets and a lot of ways to get it out, and we're trying to hit them all best we can.
Right, and Lee hit on a point too. You know, the smaller communities, that a lot of folks like that. The local information, they read those papers, and you know, WildCast is on several stations in smaller markets, and it's just you know, it's great when you can stay in the community and communicate that way.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. WildCast is out there on quite a few radio stations across the state now. I think we're up to about 12 or so.
And growing.
Yeah, we're growing there. Tennessee Outdoor Journal is on now. If you haven't seen that show, check it out on our Facebook page or YouTube or on our website. You can get there that way too. So we're trying to get the information out. As you've heard today, we've got a lot of ways to get it out, and we're trying to do that. And we hope you're getting the message and getting all the info. And if you're not, let us know. We'll try to get you that info.
Yeah.
Go buy a license. Support wildlife. That's the best way you can do it. It's buy a license.
Great investment.
It's a great investment. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here.
Anytime.
Thanks for the hard work y'all do. Lee, you the man. All right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is Tennessee WildCast, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.